Can you see me? Good morning. I'd like to call to order the September 18th, 2025 meeting of the Knoxville Historic Zoning Commission. This meeting is being recorded, so please remember to speak clearly and directly into the microphone. The Knox County Historic Zoning Commission has no business. Correct. We'll call the roll.
Commissioner Blackburn. Here. Commissioner Eason. Here. Commissioner Bradley. Here. Commissioner Kessler. Commissioner Hearns.
Here.
Commissioner Mitchell is excused. Commissioner Randazzo.
Here.
Commissioner Tillman.
Here.
And Commissioner Kloss is excused. That is 6 present, sir.
Thank you. We will now swear in the speakers. If you plan to speak at any time before the commission, would you please stand now and reply with "I do." Solemnly affirm that the testimony I'm about to give shall be the whole truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I do. Thank you. You may be seated. All speakers are asked to limit their remarks to 5 minutes. Speakers must begin their remarks by stating their name and address for the record. Any appeals of decisions made by this commission must be made to Chancery Court within 60 days of the date of this meeting. We'll now move on to approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We'll now move on to our level 1 reports.
All right, so since the last meeting, we issued level 1 COAs for 2 roof replacements in Market Square. We also issued a COA for a new awning for a storefront in Market Square. And we also issued a COA to some foundation repair work in 4th and Gill to their brick foundation.
All right, and now we'll move on to our certificate of appropriateness applications. The first one is in Fort Sanders.
Okay, so this is 9C25HC at 210 South 17th Street in the Fort Sanders neighborhood. This is an exterior rehabilitation project that includes the removal of aluminum siding and installation of fiber cement siding with fiber cement diamond pattern siding on the front gable field, corner boards, fascia, and soffits, replacement of non-original front door with half-light panel door, replacement of all existing windows with in-kind profile, size, and window trim, reestablishing windows that were previously enclosed. On the south side elevation, installation of 2 new windows, revised placement of second-story window, and removal of first-story window. Removal of enclosed front porch, reconstruction of original open front porch with the same footprint of the existing porch to feature partial hipped roof, 6-inch square wood posts, wood railings with 2-inch balusters, stained tongue and groove ceiling, a concrete floor, and rebuilding the foundation reusing historic brick. Construction of second-story addition to the rear elevation over existing 1-story addition using the same footprint with a shed roof ending below the primary roof line. Addition will feature in-kind asphalt shingles, in-kind siding, a new 1/1 window on the first story, and a fixed window on the second. The proposed exterior rehabilitation scopes meet the design standards. The reactivation of enclosed window openings, addition of new windows, and revised placement of existing windows is appropriate. Any remaining original exterior detail should be retained, including the eave overhangs, the siding detail, and partial cornice returns in the front gable field, and the window and louvered vents on the front gable field. The existing enclosed front porch no longer retains historic integrity. Removal is appropriate. The proposed replacement porch matches the footprint of the original porch and will rest on a reconstructed foundation using the existing brick, which is appropriate. The proposed materials are compatible with the house, apart from the supports. The porch posts should be at least 10-inch square with the final design sent to staff for review. Reducing the number of posts and including brick bases could also be appropriate. The location of the rear second-story addition is appropriate. The new shed roof will have a lower slope than the one removed, but a similar nature and not visible from the public street. It could be removed without adverse effect to the historic structure. The staff recommendation is to approve Certificate 9C25HZ, subject to the final site plan meeting engineering requirements for parking, retention of and replication of corner boards with window trim as depicted on the elevation drawings, retention of character-defining features such as the partial cornice returns and facade gable details, and the porch supports shall be at least 10-inch square posts with option of reducing the number of posts and including brick bases with final design sent to staff for review.
Thank you. Is the applicant present?
Morning, John Holmes, 5914 Grey Gables Drive. I think Mark's got a good summary there. We did want a quarter light door for the front door instead of a half. I just kind of a security feature. I have no problem with the 10 by 10 post along the front. I think that's fine. Probably don't prefer brick here just due to the width of this house is pretty narrow already. The roof was redone about 3 years ago, so that's already completed. We won't be doing any roof work. The cornices and all the returns are original, so they'll just be, the rotten wood will be removed and replaced as is. I think, I know the neighborhood rep comments were to try to open the front porch up, which was the main intent here. And it's a pretty small house.
Thank you. Is there any neighborhood input?
I did not receive any
Okay.
directly.
Is there anyone present that would like to speak on this issue, this application? If not, then I'll open the floor to commissioners. Questions for the applicant? Ideas?
Yeah.
Thank you. John, I drove by it the other day and I can't even, I noticed it, but I don't remember. What was under the aluminum siding? Was there wood, clapboard?
Yeah, there's wood different in some places and some places not. It's kind of pieced together. Old plywood, and there's a tongue and groove, or not tongue and groove, sorry, like a lap siding, wood, and then it's got metal on top of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and so when we do this siding work, we have to fire rate those two walls. They're too close to the property line, so they have some additional building code things that have to happen there.
The only reason I'm asking is just because the NC1 guidelines are a little different from the historic guidelines, and I just wanted to make sure that we are all on the same page and understanding, especially when I think about how what we do here may set precedent for other houses.
Sure.
Will you go back to the staff recommendation? John, what was your response to number 3 there on, or number 2 on
I think-
the corner board?
Can you turn your mic on? We can hear you, but not
Sorry.
recorded.
What was your response to number 2 on retention or replication of the corner boards?
So the corner boards will be replicated 1x6, smooth hardy that'll blend in there, and then we'll have the other hardy siding.
Okay, and then if you'll address number 3 also, retention of character defining features?
So I think the main thing was the shape of that that bump out on the right side, retaining all the dimensions of that, I guess call it bay, and the window locations and those window sizes. So all those will be retained.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
If there's no more comments or discussions, we can entertain a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve based on staff recommendations.
I will second that. Oh,
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you, John.
Thank you very much.
Move on to our next application in Old North.
All right, so this project is for a new secondary structure. It was originally supposed to be heard in July, but has been postponed while awaiting variances. Those variances have yet to be issued as discussed, but wanted to go ahead and bring it before y'all. So this project involves converting an existing detached garage into an ADU and the installation of a new carport. The footprint of the existing outbuilding will not be changed, although a gravel patio will be added near the rear. The new carport will be installed perpendicular to the existing garage, starting at the right corner of the patio, and will measure 32 feet 11 inches wide by 20 feet deep with a recess for a custom shed. The proposed outbuilding will generally be flush with the rear and side lot lines. The two existing double-hung wood windows, garage door, and concrete slab floor will be removed. The existing door will be removed and replaced. The ADU will feature three 1/1 double-hung windows, 2 casement windows, and 3 transom windows, all of which will be wood. The existing wood board and batten siding will be repaired and retained with in-kind siding installed in the place of the existing window and garage door openings. The existing asphalt shingle roof will be replaced in kind, preserving the exposed rafter tails. The carport will feature a concrete parking pad and a raised block foundation covered by a low-pitch shed roof made from standing seam metal with eave overhangs and supported by 6-inch square treated pine posts. In-kind wood fencing will be installed at the rear and side of the carport, connecting to the existing fence. The shed walls will be clad with wood board and batten siding, in kind to the existing outbuilding, and will feature new double doors. The carport will be accessed via the rear alley with a concrete ramp and walkway between the ADU and carport. The project also includes the installation of a small solar tube on the ADU and the installation of a solar array that takes up most of the area of the carport roof and both planes of the ADU. The array features anodized aluminum frames and will protrude 4 to 7 inches from the roof plane. 221 East Oklahoma Avenue is a contributing resource. The existing outbuilding to be converted into an ADU is a contributing resource in the National Register nomination and was constructed at the same time as the house. The applicant is requesting a variance to reduce the interior side setback of the accessory structure that is scheduled to be heard by the Knoxville Board of Zoning Appeals on October 20th. Any necessary variances outside of just that one must be granted, and the case must come back before the commission if they are denied. The existing outbuilding and proposed carport and shed are located at the rear of the property and are minimally visible from the right-of-way and will be further screened by the additional in-kind wood fencing. The proposed removal of the existing concrete slab floor, windows, garage door, and entry door from the historic outbuilding is appropriate, as the features are not visible from the right-of-way and are not character-defining. The placement of the new double-hung casement and transom windows and entry door is appropriate, as is infilling the existing window and door openings with in-kind siding. Although design guidelines encourage accessory structures to include materials and design elements that reflect the historic outbuildings, contemporary accessory structures with metal roofing have been approved in Old North Knoxville when not visible from the street. And the use of contemporary materials will highlight the historic character of the existing outbuilding. The carport is accessed via the alley and could be removed without effect on the historic outbuilding, which meets the design guidelines. Final product specifications for all doors and windows should meet the guidelines and be sent to staff for review. Guidelines discourage the use of exposed concrete blocks in accessory structures, so exposed sections of the block foundation should be parge coated, clad in stucco, or clad in brick veneer. Guidelines recommend that solar arrays and skylights be installed on roof planes not visible from the street. The proposed solar tube and solar array take up most of the roof planes on the ADU and carport, but will not be visible from the right-of-way. The roof truss of the historic outbuilding should be reinforced as necessary during the roof replacement to support the weight of the solar array without damage to the structure and the exposed rafter tails. So with that, staff is recommending approval of Certificate 7J25HC, subject to the following conditions: receiving any necessary variances from the Board of Zoning Appeals with a project to return to the Commission if the variances are denied, meeting the standards of city engineering and the zoning code as applicable with minor revisions to be approved by staff, final product specifications for all doors and windows to be sent for staff for review and be reflected in elevation drawings, exposed sections of concrete block to be parge coated, clad in stucco or clad in brick veneer, and documentation be provided that the roof truss of the historic outbuilding can support the weight of the solar array with or without reinforcement.
Thank you. Is the applicant present?
Good morning. I'm Ethan Fields with FE Trainer Construction. That was a really good, very comprehensive review of what we're doing. I really appreciate the level that you all went to with this. The exposed concrete block that being parge-coated, clad in stucco, or clad in brick veneer. Currently, it is a split-face block that faces towards the house, so it's not visible from the alleyway or the right-of-way, if that has any sway on how you all view that. But other than that, that was a great review, and I'm looking forward to hear what y'all have to say.
Thank you. Did we receive any neighborhood input?
I did not receive anything.
Is there anyone present here from the neighborhood that would like to speak? If not, commissioners of this board, feel free to ask questions.
I have a question for Melinda. Does his additional information about the foundation section change your recommendation in any way?
It does not. The design guidelines, 1 second, let me pull this up. The design guidelines are pretty specific about discouraging the use of exposed concrete block on outbuildings. They specifically state, for the outbuilding standards, it says materials used in constructing outbuildings or accessory buildings may only use materials and design characteristics selected from the following list. And in a part of that list, it says masonry, but not exposed concrete block or split face block. I will say that some of the existing block foundation is on that historic carport, but they are extending that with the foundation of the carport itself.
So
Thank you.
it seems like minimally visible from the right of way is still minimally visible, but it does seem to conflict with the guidelines, even though it's not visible. So I guess I can leave that to the board of how y'all want to interpret that.
Am I missing any pictures of the existing structure?
No pictures of the existing structure were included in the application. However, this is the floor plan of the existing structure. So you can see the windows here, the door, and the garage door, and there's this D here for it to be demolished.
Is there existing CMU to be retained?
Yes, so the existing outbuilding is at alley level, and the yard itself is actually probably about 1.5 feet or so lower than the alleyway. There's already actually a parking pad that is retained by a block wall that is just a block wall, along with the foundation of the outbuilding. You know, it sits above that backyard area, and that block is exposed to the backyard as well. I believe it's painted, but it's still just the CMU block.
Thanks. If no other commissioners wanted to discuss the block, I wanted to ask about number 5, particularly to the staff. We don't usually ask applicants to show their work regarding an engineer's stamp or something about the structure. Was there a specific reason we were looking for this? Was it just possibility of changing the exposed rafter tails?
So since this outbuilding is historic and was constructed at the same time as the house, we just had concerns about the roof truss not being able to withstand the weight of a significant amount of solar panels. So I discussed this with the applicant, and the only thing they would need to fulfill that condition is just sending us the comments from the contractor when they go out there saying whether or not it has to be reinforced. We're just wanting to make sure that that is something that was taken into account and thought of.
Okay, I just don't want y'all to have to pay an engineer architect fee just for a condition like this. That's really kind of due diligence from the contractor.
Yes, and part of when we went out, we've been there several times kind of expecting the existing conditions. The roof itself has been reinforced since the original framing. If you go in and look in, there is some existing framing or from original, and then there's some newer as well where they come on and sistered some rafters and other things to beef up what's currently there. It looks like there's been some newer OSB board that's been put on the roof as well. So there have been efforts taken to improve what is there currently. We still would need to do some more digging into information with the solar people to specifically say, this load can handle this if we would need to do anything else. But that would be conversations we'd be having with the solar people as they're designing their system and coming out and talking with our framers and all of that during the project.
Okay, so you'll be passing on comments from the solar contractor, whoever that is.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be working in tandem with them, hand in hand.
Okay, I don't feel like that's too burdensome to ask of y'all then. All right.
Who is the solar contractor? Do you know?
I cannot. Scott Northam? Yeah.
Scott? Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
Any other comments or discussion?
May I see the floor plan again, please? And now back to elevation. This isn't our purview, it's just more curiosity. Why on the back elevation are those windows different shapes?
I believe it's a design feature on the far right-hand side there. That is the bathroom, and then the other is the bedroom. I believe it's just a design,
Okay.
centering them up in the room, what feels appropriate for the interior space.
All right. Just going Cameron Bowling on you there for a minute.
If there's no further discussion, we can entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve based on staff recommendation.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Anything else to add? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And our application portion of the meeting is adjourned, but we have one other thing. I would like to acknowledge that this is Commissioner Eason's last meeting as a member of Historic Zoning Commission, and I'd like to present you with a certificate of appreciation. If I can stay within the mic. Your thoughtful input to this board will be sorely missed. I've really enjoyed my time here sharing and discussion. I've learned a lot from you, and you will be very missed. Thank you again for your service. There's no further business. Meeting is adjourned.